Hi everyone, DeeDee here today with a little mini art journal spread for 7 Dot Studio. I am super excited to share this with you. I've been working in this little journal that I stitched together just to play with art marks and mark making in my art, and some of them I'm layering up paper and some of it's gesso and paint and just all kinds of different things. And it's the challenge is an art marks challenge by Ray Missigman. So I'm way past the challenge due date, and I'm just working on that. So I'm filling in some of the pages. And when my new paper lines showed up, so I'm always super honored to get to design paper for 7 Dot Studio. And Hazy Days and Dreamscapes are both lines that I designed for 7 Dot Studio in Tusia. And when they showed up, I'm always so floored by just how well my ideas and my designs come across on physical products. And so it always makes me so happy. And as I was playing with dreamscapes and kind of going through the pieces, I realized that some of the pieces would make really great art marks. It would be a great addition to my journal, to my art repertoire, to my art making abilities, my mark making abilities. And so that's what I decided to play with today. I have the die cuts, the sentiment stickers, the die cut stickers, and the die cut tags. I don't end up using the die cut tags, but I do have them out in the beginning thinking that I will. I also have a set of chipboard that matches Dreamscapes. This particular set of chipboard is from my company, Unwild Studio, but Tusia also offers the same set in a beer mat style chipboard, which is a bit more, it's a lot lighter and it's white, so it's a very cool, completely different product, just the same designs. So check that out. You can check out mine, which is a craft, very thick, heavy, durable chipboard, or you can check out Tusia's, which is a lot more flexible, and they're both really great products. So I should get back to the video real quick before I talk my face off. I turned to a spread in my journal, and Ray Missigman has prompts. So the one on the left is bold, and the one on the right is parallel. So I kind of did go into this with an idea. First, I completely gessoed the page on the left, and I had a little bit of extra gesso so that I could kind of whitewash the page that was on the right. The page on the right has some very cool polka dots in the background, black polka dots from an old stamp. It was a piece of underpaper. And so I didn't want to lose that layer, but I wanted to knock it back a little bit. Then I used a Stabilo Marxall pencil to grungy up both pages, which is very fun and easy to do. It's a water reactive pencil. And then after that was dry, I got out my stickers, the coordinating stickers that go to Dreamscapes. And this page on the right, the theme is parallel. So I knew for sure that I wanted to use one of those big, bold, long rectangle stickers that's at the bottom of that page, and I cut it in half, but it's more like 2/5 and 3/5 maybe, or 3/7 and 4/7, so kind of like that. And then I layered those on that page. So that's my two parallel lines. Now I am splattering a Posca paint marker. So I primed it on the edge of the page so that there was a lot of paint on the tip, and then I just splattered it in my background. Then I'm heating the edges of the dots. I'm keeping a close eye on my splatters because I only want the edge of the splatters to start to dry, because then I'm going to wipe up the center of the splatters where it's still wet and create sort of like hollow droplets. And so this is a technique that I really love utilizing, and I'm not going to lie, I happened on this by chance. I'm sure someone else has had the idea out there also. But what this technique does for me is it gives me the chance to add splatters to my page without them being too bold or overbearing. And it's a total cool technique. They're like little hollow splatters that kind of look like bubbles, and depending on what you put around them, they can be a really great addition to your project. So keep that in mind when you're working in your layers and your backgrounds. I did add back in a little bit more Stabilo because Stabilo is water reactive. Always and forever, wherever I wiped up that extra paint from the Polska paint marker, I wiped up some of the grunginess of the Stabilo. So I wanted to put a little bit of that back in. And I'm just making sure and heating everything between my layers. Anything acrylic based and the gesso and stuff like that will be permanent, but that Stabilo Marksol is always going to come up in the background, so I have to keep that in mind. It makes a really great first layer for grunge, but it's just something you got to watch out for. Now I am digging into the stickers, more of the stickers. I pulled out these 3 beautiful circles that all have gray and pink on them. And then I outlined them with a really, really small amount of Stabilo, and then using a tiny striping brush, I activated the Stabilo. Because I used a small brush, it has not necessarily less control, but it has less coverage, so it's harder to go around the Stabilo, and it makes it a bit more distressed as I'm activating the Stabilo, and it's very cool. Now I have a little pennant piece that is from the die cut page. Because it's die cuts, it doesn't have a sticker on the back. It's not one of the Kiss Cut stickers, but it's really easy to add it into my page. I just use a little bit of Yoo-hoo for that. I'm having a lot of fun kind of coordinating these pieces and playing with them. I'm not even going to lie. In the end, I'm not sure if the page is 100% finished, but I've sort of picked up the philosophy recently from Dina Wakely, finished is better than perfect, because we could stew over things all the time. Plus, I'm kind of still experimenting and just trying to use some of these elements in my art journaling. I have finally dug into the chipboard pack, and I have a couple different pieces here. One of them is some stacked triangles, and then the other one on the left is just some like little free floating triangles. They actually come from the inside of some other pieces. So those are kind of in there and having fun with those. This page, this little sticker is really fun, and I put it on a little bit crooked. I will fix it later, but I love these. I should have said this a long time ago. I absolutely love designing paper for Tusia and 7 Dot Studio. It is so fun, and it is everything I adore. However, when it comes to the coordinating embellishments, I love it just that much more, because then it's like a chance to really bring these lines together and create these beautiful little coordinated pieces that will work between the paper lines. So that sticker that I chose, the sticker has like pennant ends on both sides, and it's one of my favorite pieces to design for each of the collections that we do. I always have fun figuring out how I'm going to fill it. So I definitely had to use that on this page. I'm using some heavy matte gel to glue down my chipboard pieces. I do need to keep in mind these chipboard pieces are pretty sturdy and strong, and maybe not the best for such a little dainty art journal. Tusia's beer mat may have been a better choice for this, but I couldn't find mine, so I kind of tucked some of my pieces away. I moved into a new house, and I'm trying to keep things picked up, and that's really not proving great for me. Some of my stuff I can't seem to find. And now I have out a white Sharpie marker. This is a water-based paint pen, and I adore these. I just picked them up recently, and I've been using it in everything now. Doing some doodling. I'm coloring in the center of the little triangles, the craft colored triangles, and it really helps kind of bring the whole thing together, and then I don't have these huge brown craft triangles hanging out. There I go, fixing that sticker I was talking about earlier. It was really pestering me that it seemed just not straight, and I don't know if it gets any straighter the second time around, but I'm going to pretend like it does because it makes me feel better. I mentioned before that this page on the left, the theme is bold, and so I went with these like bold circular patterns that have this like really pretty pink color in it, kind of like mauve colored almost. And I was trying to figure out how I was going to write bold, if I wanted it to be cursive or straight hand or what. And then I ended up deciding that I would write on those parallel lines that I made down at the bottom. And then when I came back, I pulled out 2 die cut pieces, which I love, and I glued those down to my page. And they are a really great coordinating piece to those circles that I already had going. I thought that it would look a lot better if I had more circles going up and down my page. So I glued those down, and then I did a little bit of doodling with my white Sharpie. I did some cross hatches, I did some stippling, and I did some circle scribbling. And then I came back in and wrote that be bold. So that's how I sort of turned this page into the prompt, I guess, by Ray Missigman, because the page on the left is bold and the page on the right is parallel. Those were her prompts for that. So, oh yeah, and then I got out my Liquitex gesso, so which is what I covered the pages with in the beginning, and I put it on my mat, and then using my palette knife, I scraped it along the edges of each of the pages and along that chipboard piece that was on the right page. Because I used the white Sharpie on the triangles that were on the left, then the triangle set that's on the right was starting to look a bit out of place. And then I got out those beautiful sentiment stickers. It's really unfair for me to say that stuff is beautiful because I'm the one who designed it. But I'm always so happy with the quality that Tusia and 7 Dot Studio presents. I just design the things. I don't pick out the beautiful bases that my designs go onto. I'm so happy with everything that Tusia does. It's all such top quality, top-notch, high-quality stuff, and I love it. So anyways, those sentiment stickers, I clipped out the word dream, and it was kind of that same mauve-y color from the left-hand side, so that was a cool play. I wasn't necessarily making the 2 pages coordinate, but it was fun to kind of throw in a few small touches like that pink and the whites to make them coordinate. Plus the Stabilo always helps. So yeah, just a little more scraping of the gesso, and that's it. I'm going to call these 2 pages finished. I am. I said earlier I wasn't sure if they were done, but I'm going with it. They are finished. I love them. They're so fun. I'm really glad to have been here on the 7 Dot Studio blog, and the paper is beautiful, but don't forget about all the beautiful embellishments that we work hard to create. Die cuts, stickers, sentiments, the tags. There's lots of stuff happening there. Lots of ways to use them. Thank you so much for joining me. Be sure to check the blog for other projects by this really great, fabulous design team that Tusia has working for her. And if you liked my video, feel free to subscribe. Thank you so much. I'll see you around.